Midnight Mass.
What he said.
Okay, sorry we're a little late on this one, but it's it's
not late.
It's Halloween. We gotta get the creepy factors in. For this film, Fright Fest, it's more of a series than a film. It's by Mike Flanagan. He also did The Haunting of Hill House and Haunting of Bly Manor, and that's what I know him for mostly. Do you know any of his other stuff?
He does Hush. You ever seen?
Oh, he did Hush.
Yeah, he did.
He likes Katie Sagal.
They're married.
That makes sense.
And in Hush, if you go back and watch it, he referenced Midnight Mass because Hush is about the writer of Midnight Mass. Oh, Midnight Mass.
What?
Yeah,
I gotta rewatch Hush now.
Yeah, it's has connection to it. All his movies has connection to this show. It's pretty cool.
Very cool.
There's a lot of Easter eggs in Midnight Mass.
I should look that up. Anyway, I probably should have before this.
Yeah.
So Midnight Mass, if it's not horror.
It is.
I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
And then it turned out kind of not to be. There are horror aspects. There's few cheap jump scares, and there's a few like scary.
Zero jump scare. Zero.
Maybe like 2.
It is one of those shows that makes you really sit back and like think about
it is
humanity and think about religion and think about interpretation of the Bible.
It's
like how people take certain things literal and people take things that are maybe loose about it. In this show, it's about a group of people on an island.
Spoilers. We're gonna go into super spoilers right here.
And this group of people live off mainland. They're just on their own world. Not a lot of going on. A lot of fishermen. A lot of like people who do their own thing. And it's hard time. People are moving away. And the story is about this guy who his name is, I forgot his name now.
Monsignor Pruitt.
Yeah, who was a priest there, and he's happened to be very, senile? He's forgetting stuff, and he's not himself, but so the people wanted to send him to Jerusalem before they died. Mm-hmm. And what happened was he went to the motherland and was lost on the way to Damascus. I can't say where Paul went. Where did he go?
Damascus.
Yeah, Damascus. On the way there, and he hit a sandstorm, and he came upon a cage, or a cave, not cage, cave.
So set that part, but then let's go back to the island. There's this community has a new priest.
Yes.
And he's come to replace Monsignor Pruitt, and these like weird stuff starts happening, like weird miracles and just weird things, and you can tell that he's kind of off. I mean, he's not quite like everybody loves him.
Yeah.
But like you, the audience, are like, there's something fishy about this dude.
So he goes into the cave and he's dying, and what happened was he's typical. This is where I guess you can call it a jump scare. Typical. He turns on a match or lit a match. You can't turn on a match. Lit a match, and he looks around. He sees anything, and then he sees in the corner of his eye, he sees 2 eyes. Like turned him looking, and the flame goes off, and then he does it again, and then he sees what he calls an angel.
And the whole show, he references this angel. It's called an angel. So the audience, and me being my naive self, that was like the whole thing throughout the whole series. He was an angel. He's an angel. He's an angel. He's an angel. He's never referenced as anything else but an angel. Until you start seeing the weird things that are happening toward the end of the series.
Yeah. So what the show, the crux of it is, these groups of people will start seeing these miracles through this new priest, and they call it religion revival within that island. And so people are getting really religious and really listening to these priests. A lot of times you see this is reference to Jim Jones, is a very dark history in the U.S. history. If you ever get to watch Jim Jones, where he moved his community to South America, and it's the Kool-Aid. That's why you drink the Kool-Aid, because you believe what he said. He said, people, it's time to die. They drink the Kool-Aid, and everybody died. It has that aspect to it. Before we go on, let me reference. This is really I don't know if it's controversial, but there are deaths in this show that does show a little girl died there. I don't know if you've seen that scene, but she wakes up because let's get into the spoiler.
Okay.
The angel isn't
not a freaking angel. And I don't know why I didn't like pick up on this. I was just like kind of as naive as they were on the island. This angel is a straight up vampire.
And
straight up vampire.
And
so this community, they drink the blood, they drink the sacrament, and they get like healed. They get kind of like their resurrected body, their perfect self.
Yes.
But when they touch the sun,
well,
they burst into flame.
Not yet. They have to die first.
Oh, okay.
Then they get reborn. Then they can't go out in the sun.
Okay.
Because that's what happened with him. Now,
that makes sense.
In the first 2 episodes, the priest could walk around in the sun, and he wasn't burned. Well, there's a reason why. In that cave, when he met the angel, he didn't die.
Monsignor Pruitt is this new resurrected priest.
But he didn't die. He was going to die, but the vampire, or the angel, let him drink of his blood, and he was just basically reborn, not completely, but was like in not a perfect state, in a state that you wish you were, which is your younger self. You're the most, kind of like your most, athletic form whenever you were. Me was probably back in high school, but
he's right now.
But then then you find out in the 3rd episode he dies, and then he was reborn again. Then he actually becomes a vampire in that sense. So,
and after that, it's kind of scary. Like the messages. So that's pretty much it for the series. But the message it wants you to learn is that blind obedience to authority figures and religious figures is it could be dangerous.
That are not authorized.
Yes, we'll preface that. We come from a religion that we have our beliefs, but like the message is that it's very dangerous. You have to have your own discretion. You have to use your own brain, but also you have to go not only by faith alone, but by action. This series plays into it. Like it's very, very, people can be very deceiving, and in this case, they were so deceived that they ended up all dying by the hand of this vampire, except for a handful of people.
There are a beautiful story within this series as well. It's between these 2 people. I think the guy's name was Riley. Was it Riley? Mm-hmm. And the girl's name is Miss Green. Those 2 had a lot of more of the emotional light, the real light, not not like the angel, like where you kind of not question religion, but question like, where do we come from?
Being, like your own self.
Yeah, yourself.
Spirit.
Like, where do we go after we die? These are great questions to ask. We have the answers, believe it or not. But these are questions that they talk. And this show has a heavy dialogue in it. A lot of heavy subject, a lot of tense subject that you can talk about. In the end, if you watch the ending, the priest, what's his name? I can never.
Monsignor Pruitt. Or which one?
Yeah, him. Okay. He went to Jerusalem, and he wanted to just find a cure so that he can be with the girl that he had an affair with.
Right.
It comes down to love, and had a daughter. It comes down. He just wants to live a different life and to be loved. It comes down to him being so selfish that he's willing to do this. It didn't go according to his plan because you have a character named Bev that is incredible acting by this.
She's like the Nurse Ratched of this series.
She is great character. Not because she's a good person, but because she thinks she's a good person, that she thinks she's doing the right thing, that she convinced herself.
I know a lot of people like this.
And that's the scary part. That's why this show to me, I don't think it's his best show, but it's more relatable. We can relate to some of these people because, and both of us here probably search for those kind of answers. We probably search for this spirituality in life, and this is the show that kind of dives into that kind of aspect, asking those questions. And so, it's pretty. It's pretty crazy. I would recommend this film or this series.
But don't go into it thinking horror.
It's not.
And it's not. And I wanted it to be, but it wasn't. But what I ended up getting, I was pleasantly surprised with. So,
anyways,
it's heavy.
It's heavy. It's a heavy show. What do you give this show?
I will give it worth watching.
Me too. I would recommend at least watching it once.
Not Mike Flanagan's best work.
No.
But with that said, it's still top tier for me.
Yeah. Best dialogue, I think, in this show. I think his best show is still Haunting of the Hill House.
Hill
The first
House,
one.
for sure. Yeah.
So good. Episode 6. So good.
Episode 6.
All right, nerds.
Later.
Tell us what you think. What did you think of the show?
Peace.
Peace out.